separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
Welcome to the Orange is the New Black podcast. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, joined by my co-host, Zim. Zim, say what's up.
What's going on? Hello, world. We got a special show as always, but I don't think it's been this special in a while, so I'm really excited about it. I got a guy I consider one of the legends in Who Dey Nation, TJ Houshmandzadeh, just cruising, palm trees in the background, doing what he does best. How you doing this evening?
Man, what's happening, fellas? I'm good. How about y'all?
Pretty good, bro. Excited about this season for sure.
Yes. We talked about it a little bit off air. Coming into this game, we're just talking about the Bengals in general, like the surprise level from 1 to 10. How surprised are you that we're here? We are a couple days away from an AFC Championship game with the Bengals going against the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
I got to keep it 100. It's a 10. And I just felt like, I said this when Joe got drafted, I felt like he would win a playoff game on his rookie contract. I was very transparent in saying that early on. Never in a million years did I think it would be in his second year, especially coming off the knee injury. You know, the offensive line is question marks. Just 2 years ago, the Bengals were 2-14. And so you got to give Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, and that defense a ton of credit.
That's facts. Starting off with the offense, what do you think? Because obviously early on, there were some struggles and inconsistency, but they always had the explosive plays. What do you think is so dynamic about this offense that it makes it so hard for teams to stop them?
They can score at any time. Any part of the field could be a touchdown. Like, let's be honest, that you recall, I believe Tennessee, they ran zero coverage. Joe snaps the ball and throws it to Jamar right away. If Jamar stays outside, he scores on that. Facts. When the safety just dove at the ground and the guy tackled him from behind.
Right.
The Bengals can score from anywhere on the field. They can beat you on the ground. They can beat you through the air. Joe just has great pocket presence. The offensive line they must be better. They can't play the way they've been playing and expect to win games. You don't win a game giving up 9 sacks, and when you do, you know what that opposing defense looks at when they're getting ready? They can't wait. And
right.
So I know they know this. They got to be better, but the Bengals offense is, when you look at it, on paper, top 5, in person, top 2.
Woo. And when we talking top 2, who's number 1 in your eyes?
I don't know who's number 1. I don't care who number 1 is. It could be, you could probably say it's the Chiefs. You could probably say it's the Rams. But
right.
The reason you could say it's the Bengals is they have so many guys that can be that guy for the game. Jamar can go off. T. Higgins can go off. Tyler Boyd can go off. Joe Mixon can go off. Shit, Uzuma can go off. And so you don't have you go to Chiefs, it's Kelsey and Hill. You go to Rams, it's Coop, maybe a little bit of OBJ now. And so when you start looking around the league, there's not teams that have the weapons that they have. It's really going to come down, all football games come down to who dominates the trenches. And so on both sides of the ball, we get the credit. The receivers and the skill guys, we get too much credit, but I'm a football guy. Games are won and lost up front on both sides of the ball.
Facts. And I think, like, to me, when I walked away from that game last week, I know you talked about the 9 sacks. It's really crazy when you start to rewatch that game, though. Jeffrey Simmons had a total of 5 pressures, but he ended up with 4 sacks in the whole entire game, which is crazy unique. In contrast, I looked at stuff like DJ Reader in that game, right? To me, absolute player of the game. Like 3 plays behind the scrimmage, 3 run stops, like stuff that like you just don't see on an everyday basis. Do you think that the defense?
Y'all still there?
Yeah. I think
we still here.
You hit like a spot. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, TJ?
You're not hearing it. So pretty much we're just
Y'all,
talking
can y'all
about.
hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
That's the thing about these live shows, people. You're here with Orange is the New Black. We got TJ Houshmandzadeh in here. He cruising around. We're gonna make sure we get a signal straight. He's gotta get to a different area or something, but I think he can probably hear me now.
Can you hear us now, TJ?
No.
What just happened?
Nah, he can't hear us.
Oh no,
So
I think something with his Bluetooth. But I appreciate y'all checking us out tonight, man. We doing this in here. Ace, the background looking sweet. I see you got the Migos in the back.
Yes, sir.
Migos on the hat. Is the Migos hat on the website?
Yeah, the Migos hat is on newstripecity.com. We're going to try to get TJ back in here. TJ, can you hear us?
That was weird, right?
You still there? I don't know.
Yo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I bet you it's his Bluetooth though. I bet you it's like the
Bluetooth.
He need to switch to that AirPod or something real quick.
Yeah, I think he's switching it out real quick. Try to get something going. But yeah, the Migos hats are on newstripecity.com. You can definitely go and get those. And if you see, Zim is wearing the Life or Death for the North, the Grim Reaper tee. So you could definitely get that at zimhuday.com if you guys have seen that. Make sure you check that out. But TJ, man, are you back with us?
Nah, he can't hear us.
Nah, he can't hear us.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah. You can see you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. I can't hear nothing y'all saying now. I see y'all mouths moving, but I can't hear a word.
It's the Bluetooth.
Somebody called my phone. I sent them straight to voicemail, and now I can't hear nothing.
Leave out and come back in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to type it to him.
This is why we do this, people. Orange is the New Black. We the only ones doing live shows like this for real, like on this, like this type of way. Sometimes I hear people doing live shows and stuff now. Maybe more people are doing it, but we do that. Y'all done seen us weather the storm through so many different shows. Like this is super normal. So if you're used to us in this, or you're new to this or whatever, like this is how it goes, bro. But we were talking to TJ about the trenches. I thought he raised some really good points. Did you have anything that you wanted to say directly about anything that he just said, where he thought like football was one up front?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I get his point there. I think that Tennessee definitely did some things to kind of throw that line off. I think it's a combination of things, right? First of all, you got to remember Riley Reef is not on the line, right? He's not at the right tackle position. And then you also have a young guy over there, two young guys, right? You got Hakeem Adeniji, who really is a right tackle, playing right guard, playing at a position. And then you got Isaiah Prince, right, who nobody probably even thought was going to start. So he's definitely right when he says that the trenches have to be right, because the game is won in the trenches. That's how,
I wish y'all could hear the shit that how it sounds.
I could hear this. Like, sound like y'all like chipmunks.
It sound like we like chipmunks. We good. We good though. As long as you can hear.
But it probably sounds super crazy. I know what he's talking about, though.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
If you guys are listening to this on the podcast, I know this sounds super crazy. I don't know if we're gonna load it up at that point beforehand. We might have load that bad boy up like after that point or something when he get his stuff together, bro. Because that's gonna sound crazy on the podcast that he's just like, I don't know. That just sound.
It's all good.
I'm really excited, man. This week we're gonna do some cool stuff. If you guys haven't seen on our Twitter Spaces or whatever, we're gonna do some of those coming up probably tomorrow too.
All right, you there, TJ?
He can hear us, but it probably sound funny. And then his daughter probably trying to get him together because he don't know what he doing out here.
Yeah, it don't seem like he can hear us.
I read a comment just now. I was talking about cover sacks, and that's what I was saying. I was going over those 9 sacks. Mm-hmm. A lot of those, like I said, I don't know what it was, but Joe Burrow wasn't seeing what he wanted to see. And for a lot of those different dropbacks, the route was there underneath, guys in the flat. He didn't take it. That isn't to say that he didn't have a good game, because any quarterback get hit 9 times, bro, you're a legend for real. But, like, I just think, like, he kind of let them off the hook. If Joe B gets them same looks coming up this week, it's 35, 40 points minimum. Like, same exact looks. I know that today we had an article or there was a couple different things where CJ Uzama was saying that there were plays where Joe wasn't even getting the play into the headset, so he's calling his own shot. So you got a lot of different things going on. I just think in this week of preparation, they got to get ready for the worst in the worst case scenario and get the communication on the right hand side together. They get that together. I mean, we're going to just see a repeat of what we just saw 27 days ago. All these outlets aren't talking about what happened 27 days ago, which is insane to me.
Right. Is it possible, Zim, because I think TJ is saying that the sound is weird. He's saying it sounds like we sound like monsters on here. Is there any way that you could possibly call him on speaker or anything, like through his phone or something, or not? I can't hear you. You on mute.
Oh, yeah, we might have to do that, or we might have to leave out of here and come back and start up a new link or something like that. I'm thinking maybe.
Okay.
I think it's really on him though. I don't really think it got nothing to do with us.
I think can you guys in the crowd hear us pretty clear, or just trying to check the sound check real quick?
What's up, Nick? What's going on? What's up, Diddy? What's up, John Ryan? What's up, Eric Beard? What's up, Damon Gilbert? Appreciate y'all checking us out tonight. Orange is the New Black podcast live.
CBS showing replays from 2 years ago.
Right.
What's
up with that?
What's up with that? What's up with CBS showing a game from 2018? Let's see. All right, let's try Hoosh, can you hear us?
Yes, man.
Yes, Sersky. Okay.
Some damn 1-800 number called my phone. I sent their ass the voicemail, and then it was literally sounding.
I know exactly what he's talking about. You know what that is? That's the Chiefs trying to throw us off our A game this week. That's all that is, bro.
Yeah, man. So
I'm
good. Back.
Let me continue where your thought. You were talking about football as one up front in the trenches. That's where you left off. Did you have anything that you want to expand on that thought?
No, it's what you were saying too. Jeffrey Simmons had 5 pressures, 4 sacks. Before that game, I said, can the Bengals block Jeffrey Simmons? Obviously, after the game, the answer is no.
Fact.
But it didn't matter because that defense came through. And I text Zach Taylor after the game. I said, man, that defense played great. They came through in a major way. He was like, yeah, they saved our ass. Well, he doesn't curse. He didn't say that. He just said they saved our butts. And so I'm just, the fact that the Bengals can win a game without their offense really dominating the game, that bodes well. Because go back to when we played the Chiefs the first time. We were down by 2 touchdowns.
Right, down 14.
And we came back and won that game.
Facts.
So now Spagnola's not going to be dumb enough on 3rd and 26 to play cover 0. I hope, but you know, we've seen worse. We've seen the Buffalo Bills with a top 5 defense do stupid shit as well. So you never know.
Hey, I was like, you never know. I hear a lot of this national media stuff still talking about Joe like he's regular still to this day. I don't know why they still talking about him like he's regular, bro.
Zim, I would say after about 8 or 9 weeks of the season, I first said it, and I said, I don't know who comes out. I don't care who comes out. Joe Burrow's top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't care who's in it, and I don't care who's not in it. He's top 5, and that's a fact. All right.
So TJ, you obviously brush shoulders with a lot of like Bengals players, Chad, all of them. Like, are y'all talking about these Bengals? Are y'all like, how is like the Bengals alumni? How do they feel about this team and what's been going on?
Me and Chad don't really talk about the Bengals a lot. We more so talk about different stuff. But I will say this: I'm in a group text that I've been added in, and it's a ton of former Bengals, man. Some guys that I played with, some guys that I didn't play with. And I would say the majority of them still root for the Bengals. Myself and Willie, big proponents of the Bengals. You just got to give them their credit, man. And don't be bitter or upset about your time there. It is what it is.
Right.
And so these young boys that are playing now, Zach Taylor, Troy and Katie Blackburn, Elizabeth Blackburn, what they have done is a fantastic job. The Bengals are they here to stay, bro.
Facts.
They ain't going nowhere. They talent is young. They best players are all young. They going nowhere.
Right.
For me, one of the things I keep on talking about, like I'm in a couple group texts myself too, and one thing I keep on talking about is players aren't talking about what happened in the 90s. Players are talking about like how Joe Burrow can extend their career. Like guys that I know that might be like, you know, like at that 28, 29-year-old range and stuff like that, and they want to extend their career and block for this guy, potentially get a championship and get a bigger check. It's a lot of people that are, you know, like eyeing Cincinnati for that. How do you feel about like the free agent market when we get into this offseason?
Well, honestly, man, the Bengals are going to be a free agent destination because they're going to win. They have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And they can go be aggressive because Joe's on a rookie contract. Jamar's on a rookie contract. T is on a rookie contract. They'll have to make some decisions with Tyler Boyd here, but that's okay. Go get you an offensive lineman that you know is that dude. Go get you a guy in the secondary that you know is that dude. They went and got Trey Waynes. He ain't been able to stay healthy. You gotta keep Jesse Bates. You gotta find a way to pay that man the money he's earned and he deserves. He's one of the best safeties in the league. You cannot let him go.
Right.
And he's a good person along with being a good football player. Whatever it takes to sign Jesse Bates, sign him. Get it done. Don't let this success and start letting the good players go somewhere else. You got to keep them in Cincinnati.
Right.
I know you talked about wanting to be a GM. Had they ever reached out to you to be like a scout or a consultant?
Nah, man, these dudes, man, I hate to cut you off, man. This is Ace. Like, honestly, I just look like this, man. Like, I know the game of football. I know every position.
Right.
And I know how to win football. I know how to evaluate talent. To answer your question, absolutely not. And it could be the way I look, the way I carry myself, which I don't give a fuck. But I know the game of football. I can talk the game of football like I played quarterback. I just can't throw like a quarterback.
Right.
But up here, I can talk football with the best of them, and I'm not going to be out of place. And so, like, I train my guys. The guys I train, you'll never see none of my guys not understand defense, what guys are supposed to do, O-line protections, what ID in the mic means, how to redirect the mic. If we do this, what they gonna do in this? What is the over defense, or under defense? My God, they receivers.
Right.
They going into the league knowing this.
Facts.
Because it just makes the game. And you look at Cooper Kupp, you talking about for the love of the game route. That for the love of the game route, that came from my receiver coach in college. He used to always tell us that you're not getting the ball, but you got to clear it out, TJ, for Chad. That's for love of the game route. Cooper Kupp saw it was zero. That for the love of the game route became I'm about to win the game route because he saw it was zero, so he busted his ass because he understood what was going on.
Right.
But no, they not gonna bring me in to be no GM, nobody, because I'm outspoken, and I'm outspoken that I know what I'm talking about. And I don't know everything. I don't have to be right. I just want to get it right. And so, but as long as I can continue to impact these kids, look at the receivers I trained in the last 3 years. They all some of the top young receivers in the league. That's proof is in the pudding.
Well, for the people that don't know, like, how can they, like, if there's a kid right now watching, how can they link up with you, get into the program, like on the west side?
Honestly, man, it's really through the agents that reach out to me.
Okay.
Or if a guy was to reach out to me via social media or something, that has happened as well. But I'm here to help these kids because it's a lot of guys that's here to help. They need help themselves.
Right.
But you just don't know. It's a lot of guys that are coaches, but they need to be coached themselves. And so it's simple. If a kid need help, I'm going to help him. Reach out to me on social media. And if you're that type of dude, the agents, they reaching out to me already anyway.
Right. Let me take that question a step further now. How about this? Coach TJ, We got one of the biggest games in Who Dey Nation history coming up on Sunday. Let's just take it from an overall standpoint. I'm not even going to just limit you to wide receiver. Walk me through how can the Bengals go to Arrowhead Stadium and go win this football game?
Obviously, what I said earlier, up front, games are won and lost. They can't get manhandled in the trenches. Chris Jones, Frank Clark, defensive line, you can't let them manhandle you. But the reason the Chiefs play a lot of man-to-man is because they know they're susceptible to the run. Are they going to come with that same game plan and say, we're going to man our guys up? Jamar's not going to make those 50-50 plays again. Or are we going to double Jamar and say T can't beat us, which I think he can? How do you combat that? The Bengals are going to put up points. The key is, can they hold Tyreek Hill like they did in Paul Brown Stadium? I believe he only had 77 yards. If they can do that, they got a great chance. The Chiefs don't want to run the ball. Let's limit Patrick Mahomes. If you watch this last game against the Bills, he came out that first drive. He was ran, I think, 40 yards on the first drive. Limit that. That offense gets going when Kelsey gets going. Tyreek Hill makes the big plays.
Right.
But Kelsey is the key to this offense. If you can limit that, and I know the Bengals know this, easier said than done, but you got a guy like Jesse Bates that can help combat that.
Right.
So give up few sacks, few pressures, limit Tyreek Hill. Don't let Kelsey get that offense started.
That's real. That's real. So obviously we talked about T. We haven't talked about Tyler Boyd, but the big name that everybody's been talking about is Jamar Chase. Obviously, he's going out and ended up getting that franchise record. What are your thoughts on Jamar Chase, the player, and what he means to the Bengals?
I mean, Zim called it before the draft. He was the first one. And I said it. I said, look at what Justin Jefferson did at LSU in his rookie year. He was the number 2 guy behind Jamar. I said, so if he coming into the league doing this, what you think Jamar going to do?
Right.
But I also thought the Bengals would be better off drafting an offensive lineman. I was wrong. And I was wrong because
I was wrong with you, TJ.
He's impacted the game in so many ways now. People didn't know he had that big speed like that.
Right.
You know, he's a big, strong dude, great ball skills, but him and Joe just had that connection where Joe would just throw it up and Jamar just comes down with the ball. They had that same connection at LSU.
Right.
Jamar Chase, if he can stay healthy, Lord willing, he gonna break every record the Bengals have. He might break a lot of NFL records. He's that talented. And the Bengals, this is what I like about Zach Taylor. His best players, they get the ball. It's not about the play.
Yes.
It's about the players. And he understands that.
Man, I said, man, a lot of people talked about stupid curses, a lot of craziness, or all this other crap. I said, man, when the Bengals lost to the Steelers and stuff like that, when they had AB and they had Le'Veon Bell and them games got tight, everybody would complain about rub routes and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know about none of that crap. All I know is that when the game is on the line, because AB never really went crazy on the Bengals, but at the end of the game, he will rip your heart out every single time. And I kept on telling people, I said, man, when the Bengals wake up and just give their best players the ball, y'all could talk to me about like all this scheme and all this other craziness or whatever. Like when they wake up and start going back to 05, they start going back to 05, when they wake up and they say, look, like we living like it's 05. That's what, and I never told you this too. It's a part of me that wanted to get revenge on the league for y'all. And that was a lot. It was a lot of my energy about Jamar Chase was like, y'all, you, Slim, and Ocho. And I'm looking at TB, Higgins, and Chase, and I'm saying I could do the same thing that the league never really got a chance. Like Carson that messed his leg up in that game, I could replicate that. Maybe it might not be the same, but I could give it to him. And I knew up front it was going to be a question mark, but I'm like, man, if I could hit beforehand, before that 4-year window of Joe Burrow, I could go crazy. And so I just think that, like what you're saying, like even last week, I thought AJ Brown played a pretty good game, a really good game. I challenge the Titans people to say your best players like Julio, they have to be Julio. Just like the Chiefs, if they want to stop Jamar coming up if you ask me on Sunday, how can they stop him? Tyrann Matthews of the world and all the Honey Badgers and even I like one of the I think Ward is pretty good, but he's got to make a play when it has to matter the most. And a lot of things about football kind of center around those moments. Joe Burrow didn't have the greatest game of all time. To me, it was a legendary performance because he got put on his ass 9 times. But at the end of the day, it wasn't one of his best games. Like, is football just that simple? Like, just letting your dogs be dogs when it's time to go make a play?
You got to get your best players the ball. A lot of coaches, they think it's the play. It's the player. And so when you do that, they make the play. And if they don't, if the situation is too big for them, you go to another guy. I mean, it's just that simple. But Zach has done it all year. If a guy's hot, like T. Higgins,
feed him.
He had a great game jumping over guys.
That Ravens game for that 194.
Against Baltimore, almost had 2 bills. It wasn't Jamar, it was T. And so they complement each other very well. Tyler Boyd, he went off that game as well. And so when you understand, and I really believe with Zach Taylor coming from the Rams, McVay, and the receiver coach is Eric Yarber. He was my receiver coach in college. That's who I spoke of earlier. He has an understanding of how receivers think because of his experience with the Rams. And he's taken that to the Bengals and it's paid off dividends. People, when you go play in Arrowhead Stadium, this is going to present a problem. It's loud as shit. It's by far and away one of the loudest stadiums. It's top 4 in the league crowd noise that I've ever played in. You can't get ready for that in practice by playing music. That ain't going to get it done. And so if the Bengals can quiet the crowd down, don't let them score early.
Yes.
And the Bengals don't have to score early. Just don't turn the ball over early. Don't give them any sacks. Keep the crowd, run the ball early on to kind of slow the crowd down, get them quiet. Don't give up the big play. And then once the crowd kind of settles in, then we attack their ass.
No,
I like
that's
that.
Facts. That's facts.
Like that.
One thing I want to ask you, TJ, is, and I feel like Bengals fans, we felt like this because we've known Joe was special from day one. It really seems like some people fell asleep after he had the injury the first year and forgot who he was. But you always feel like you have a shot, even in the game against the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes. If Joe Burrow wins this game, where does that put him as far as like how he is looked at by the rest of the NFL?
Joe Burrow, from the rest of the league, people already have Joe just outside of the top 5. Just because it's his second year or his third year coming up. And so he gets hurt as a rookie and then he's doing this soon. He's going to get his credit because you just don't see young quarterbacks. Brady, he was a young quarterback, but it was that defense.
Right.
The Bengals are doing this. It's not just Joe, and that's another thing. Quarterbacks get way too much credit and they get way too much blame. This is a unit that works well together. Joe is a distributor, so he's going to deservedly get a lot of credit. But if he doesn't have those guys outside, he don't have those guys up front, he don't have Joe Mixon behind him, none of this works. They found a good collection of players that mesh well and play well together. But Joe, if he wins this game, immediately you start talking how people look at Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the physical tools, but he by far and away has the mental tools. You start talking about him as an all-time great if he can win this game this weekend.
Whew. That's crazy. I'm gonna be in there, and it's crazy. You was talking about crowd noise too, and I was like, I like the strategy and the thought process behind it. I just don't know if the run game is going to be enough to because the same way we got put in that 14 point hole the last time, I just don't know. Are you running for 4.5 yards, 4 point anything a clip early on? And if they don't, I think that could get you in a lot of trouble there at Arrowhead.
That's very possible. But this is the thing. It may be a little easier. Like Jamar Chase right now.
Yeah, they're giving him.
Wait, how old are you guys?
30.
34.
See, so y'all kind of babies still a little bit. So Jamar Chase right now is like Mike Tyson when he was undefeated. Fact. They going into the game like nervous. Soon as he touched me, oh shit, I'm knocked out.
Right.
Okay, you from DC, Zim. Jamar Chase right now is like Tank Davis.
Yeah.
They don't want that punch.
They
not trying to get knocked out. And so the Chiefs, he almost had 3 bills on him.
Right. Pure domination. Have you ever seen a wide receiver performance like that?
Yes, Chad did that. I believe it was against the Colts. It was the Colts or the Saints. I believe it was back-to-back games.
Somebody in the comments.
Chad went off. I don't know.
Somebody in the comments got to tell me what game, because I was telling I'm at a bar talking.
Bro.
I was talking my stuff. I said, bro, I've never seen nobody go off like this.
Chad did it back-to-back games. The Colts and the Saints. I don't know which one was first or which one was second, but he had 270 something.
Cooked them.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
the Saints game, and you saying back to back.
The Colts too. It was the Colts game. They couldn't stop us. We couldn't stop them. It was 4th down. Tony Dungy sent the punt team on. Peyton Manning told they ass to get off the field. If we punt the ball, game over because we can't stop them. Yeah, go look it up. Yeah,
man, I'll be telling. So, I talked to Jamar's father. I consider him a really good friend of the show and everything. And I talked to him too. And one of the things I was saying early on was just, man, they gotta just make him the focal part and run their offense through him.
That's what they do.
And that's what they do now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're running the offense through him, talk to the people about what that does. Like, because there's a big, large audience of people that still live in this world where they're like, oh man, Jamar had drops. And I remember you were one of the first people that speak on that. And that was really, really key, I think, for the fan base. I don't think you realize how key that was. Because that was at a time where every time they would go to practice, all the media would just be highlighting just his drops. But then you
what I say?
You were saying, oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying he was saying it's only preseason. He's not even playing the full game.
Right. It's not a big deal. You drop, you play in the first quarter, they throw you 3 balls, you drop 1. Oh, it's a big. Over the course of a game, you're going to get more targets. Those drops would be forgotten. He didn't. Right. His best attribute was making plays on a 50-50 ball. I wasn't concerned about the drops at all. It didn't bother me. Like I met my daughters go to LSU. Okay. And so when Jamar Chase was a freshman, I hollered at his pops. His pops was like, can you talk to my son? I chopped it up with him. And so the dude is he's talented. He's not the biggest. He's a lot faster than people think. Strong as shit. Great ball skills. Great. He's able to fend off the DB and go get the ball. But when the offense runs through him, it just makes that player feel like I'm going to get my looks. I'm going to get my targets. If they take him away, which I believe the Chiefs should, because if they don't, then they're the dumbest coaches in the world. If they don't take him away, you feed them until they do. But I believe they will take him away. And if they do take him away, you run the ball to Jamar's side. There's no safety support because he's playing over the top. They're weak on that side. They're leaky on that side. That's how the game works. You're going to take him away, we're going to run to that side. Now, the defense should understand they may run to this side. You still got to stop it. You don't have that support there now.
Send that text. You said you texting Zach. Send him that text right now, bro. Send it to him.
I just look like this.
So the other thing I want to ask you, TJ, is, and I don't feel like it's fair, but rookie of the year. Like, it's a lot of people talking Mac Jones. ESPN was tripping. They put Micah Parsons out there.
Ace, I hate to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I hate to cut you off.
Get him.
Because Mac Jones was the rookie of the year early on. Man, that shit ain't no contest now. That ain't no. That's like me playing my son that's 7 years old in basketball. Boy, you losing. You getting your ass whooped.
Playing
like, man, no question.
Hold up,
I'm with you. I'm 100%
playing devil's
with you.
advocate. They don't vote. They vote on that like 3-4 weeks left in the season.
Listen, I guarantee you, Jamar Chase is Rookie of the Year. No, if they gave it to Mac Jones, they wouldn't change the vote after they realized they messed up. It's no question that Jamar Chase will be the offensive Rookie of the Year. Not even close. Not even close.
Right.
He's all pro.
Facts.
I've been saying that.
No question. Mac Jones had a good year, but Jamar Chase has had a great year. Big difference.
You know when Mac Jones took himself out of the rookie of the year candidate or whatever for me?
I know when you gonna say it was.
When the Patriots won a football game and this dude threw a football 4 times, how much more invaluable could you be to a football team at a quarterback position and you just threw it 4 times? My son little league team probably would throw 4 times with their quarterback for the whole entire team for the entire game. In the NFL, 4 throws and you won the game. That's the most invaluable sentiment you can have.
And look what happened when the playoffs started.
Facts.
Look what happened.
They made
so
him.
when you cuddle him and you give him training wheels early, and now them training wheels have to come off because you have no choice. He ain't used to doing that.
That's what's so crazy about Joe Burrow to me. Like, and I hate that I had to explain that to people, like especially Bengals fans. Is I'm like, bro, when we was 1-5-1, Joe was dealing. Like when we went up against the Titans last year around that same time, I'm talking about calling his own shot, getting in and out of plays, dealing 250, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dealing back then, I'm like, bro, this is not normal. And to see like Mac Jones in that conversation, I think it's super, super silly. I don't know what happened with H just now.
Early on, he deserved. The Patriots were playing better than people expected. But this is a 17-game season now. It's not what you've done the first 8, 9, 10 games. It's the totality of the season.
Right.
And so it's not even close that Jamar Chase he'll win it. Micah Parsons will win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Facts.
And Mac Jones, you had a good rookie year. But that award at the end of the season is going to Cincinnati.
Right. Let me ask you this, because I know we're getting probably closer to the end of the time I had set out for you. I know you're a busy man. You're at practice. You're doing your stuff over there.
It got dark out here real fast too.
I know, and you got that. That's my favorite trick too. You just open up the damn whatchamacallit and let the light just shine down on your shit. Like I know exactly.
I just I've been trying to turn on the lights and shit, man. This shit crazy.
Hey, but I wanted to ask you this too. Is there something that I'm pretty sure you want the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl, but
I do.
but for me, and I think I tagged you on a post the other day, and I think this is super, super important for like the legends and the people that I that I really, really look up to, like yourself. I think the Bengals need this so bad, so that like even just for my own selfish reasons. My son's only 5. I could tell him I talked to TJ Houshmandzadeh, but if the Bengals ain't lit, he gonna be looking at me like, all right, pops. Like he go, what I'm saying? By then, he gonna be looking at like old footage or whatever. So it's so different. Like, and I just tell people about the relevancy, of the Bengals and getting our respect. Do you like over the years or whatever? Is this something? Do you like secretly just wish that the Bengals would have more success or something to give, so that you could get your shit more highlighted or get some of the players that you like more highlighted?
Nah, I mean, for me, the shit flies by, Zim. I can still remember my very first practice with the Bengals. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I remember it. I got in a fight the very first practice I ever had. The very first practice I ever had, I got in a fight with a DB. He kept holding me, and I had to tell him, like, don't hold me again. I'm going to beat your ass. and I'll never forget that. And I say that to say, it's not about me, man. It's about these kids that are playing now. Enjoy your journey. your son good. The Bengals going to be good till at least he 12, 13, 14 years old.
Right.
Unless they just have catastrophic injuries, the Bengals, it's not going to be how we were when we had that good year and you like, man, we about to be good for years. The structure is different. They not going to have the off the field shit that we was having. It's just a different era now. They're set up better than we were set up. They're better than what we were. And so I don't want to put this pressure on them and say, oh, man, they got to win this game.
Right.
I believe they're going to win, but I don't want to say it's a must because if they don't, they're good enough next year to give it a go again. It's going to be the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, and the Chargers for years to come.
Facts.
And so just get used to it. But overall, if this game was played on a neutral field, I would believe the Bengals would win it, no question. Kansas City ain't no joke, bro. It's,
Fact.
man, that stadium is loud. Go get you some barbecue when you get there. Players, get you some rest. And just understand, that crowd noise is going to be something to deal with. But the best way to shut their ass up, make some plays early, stop them from making plays, no crowd noise.
That's facts.
You sound like me. I told everybody it was acting scared. Like, Jim, it's gonna be so loud. It's no way they can pull up. I'm like, bro, I've been to a million stadiums. You put some points on the board,
take the whole energy out. TJ, I gotta ask you, Willie Anderson, your teammate, is a finalist for the Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on, Willie as a potential Hall of Famer and just you hearing that he is eligible to possibly take that leap?
Willie should have been in the Hall of Fame. It's unfortunate, man, because if you know the game of football, you know what he did. You know who he shut down when they were good players. Go watch our games. We would 7-step drop. Teams don't even 7-step drop no more. The Rams do here and there. No help, no chip. Willie Levi, block your guy. Let Chad, TJ, and them go run these routes while you single block a guy, Carson, is going to be 9 yards deep. Teams ain't doing that.
Right.
Willie should have been in the Hall of Fame. He should get in the Hall of Fame. And then after Willie gets in, Corey Dillon should be in the Hall of Fame.
Facts.
Chad should be in the Hall of Fame.
Facts.
And my criteria for the Hall of Fame is very simple. Over a period of 5 years, were you a top 5 player at your position? If that answer is yes, you're in the Hall of Fame. If that answer is no, you're not. Sorry.
Facts.
It's not the Hall of Very Good. It's the Hall of Fame. Chad was one of the best receivers from 2003 to 2008 or 9. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Right. Willie Anderson, Corey Dillon, that's just my opinion. But I believe Willie Anderson will get in because he deserves it. His play warrants it.
Facts. Right. Appreciate that, bro. Definitely Corey. Like, they be sleeping on Corey, man.
You kind of hinted at this a second ago. Like I don't know. I know TB is on contract for another 2 years or whatever, right? But just comparing him, like you guys trio, Ace, a lot's happened since the last time we talked to you. We've given these guys a name. People calling them the Migos now. The Migos say, like, I don't know what your trio was called, but you Slim.
Shit, I don't know either.
you Ocho and Slim versus Jamar, TV, and T.
I mean, I'll say they're better than us. I don't really believe
really,
they are, but I'm gonna give them. Yeah, like people. Right now, today.
Damn.
Year one. I'm willing to bet right now today. Me and Chad run better routes than all three of them. Right now, today.
That footwork, yeah.
Chad be on Twitter telling them that, though. He really be telling them that.
Dude, I just training my guys. I don't even lace up my cleats. And they be like, how are you doing that? I don't know. But those guys can play. That's me as an athlete being competitive.
Facts.
But they're better than us. And they're better than us because look at what they're doing and when they're doing it. I didn't really do nothing till my 4th year. Chad didn't do anything till really his second year, third year.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar done this as a rookie. T doing this in his second year.
Facts.
And so they are experiencing success and big success long before we did. I'm one thing about me, I'm no hater. I want them to be better than us because this is what the game is about. You want to see these young fellas come up, but if you're really asking me, I'm going to say they can't mess with us. But I know they better than what we were.
Yeah, because they're just now getting started. You know, I was looking at a stat. I don't want to say it wrong, but I think he's 200 yards away this postseason. If he gets 200 more yards, he breaks Jerry Rice's all-time record or something I read earlier. Somebody in the comments is going to say it, but it has something to do with Jerry Rice's like greatest year or something crazy like that.
He breaking that.
And
he might break that.
He might break it on Sunday. Like whether we move forward or not.
Understand. Jamar Chase has a chance to go down in history as long as the Bengals continue to win. Like, you go down in history by playing well in playoff games, but the only way to play well in playoff games is to play in playoff games. Like, you got to be able to get in the playoff game.
Get there.
You know, Julian Edelman has great stats, but Julian Edelman has played in so many damn playoff games.
Right.
You're going to get him. And so with Joe as a quarterback, his confidence, Zach Taylor being as young as the Bengals go draft an offensive lineman or get one in free agency. Go get you a corner in the draft or in free agency. Man, they're going to be good for years to come. DJ Reader, he single-handedly shut that run game down.
Facts.
He shut that shit down.
That was, man, he balled crazy. Like, I was rewatching. Man, I had my boy cut up like every single run play on that joint. Every single 20 yard, like all them 20 attempts that King Henry had or whatever. Like,
I will say though, not having
two.
Ogunjobi, that I was concerned with him going down. I was concerned, but
I'm more concerned this week because I want that pressure put on Pat earlier. You talk about doing stuff early in this game. I want that pressure up the middle on Pat early. And BJ Hill and anybody that they can manufacture some pressure early in this game. And I think that'll kind of get in Pat's head a little bit, like
or if Trey can get pressure Hendrickson from the perimeter on the outside, the inside guys just don't give Mahomes
a lane,
that ability to step up. You don't have to get pressure. Just don't give him a lane to step up and escape out of there.
Right.
This gonna be. I'm looking forward to this, man. Like I'm really looking forward to this because I truly believe the Bengals are gonna win. I truly like. I don't think they're gonna win the game, and I see them out here when they get here, baby.
Let's get it,
sir.
Let's get it.
All right. Please tell people where they can find. I know I'm about to ask you what's your Twitter, your Instagram, stuff like that. And you know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say I don't even know my damn Twitter. No, this is the craziest dude ever.
Now, so I just got on Twitter. Well, I've been on Twitter, but I didn't start. A buddy of mine started it. And no, this is a true story, bro. This is a true story. He was like, we went out to eat. He was like, hey, I started your Twitter page for you. I said, when? He was like, about 3 weeks ago. No lie.
He been throwing tweets out too?
He was. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, man, I got these people sending me messages. And so so long story short, within like the last 3-4 months, it's been me.
Okay.
Last 2 months.
Okay.
It's been me.
Did you get verified on it yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't
Goodness,
about that.
Man, talk to chat. No, you like
it's gonna get you verified.
It's gonna make it so that when you say something, more people see that shit. Like you need that chat.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Twitter and Instagram is the same thing. It's TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Okay.
Like I've been during the games, I'll tweet out a lot. I tweeted out quite a bit this past weekend during the games on like what I thought and things of that nature. That's what but a lot of times I'll forget that I'm on Twitter and I just start watching the game and realizing it's really interactive. And so the more I get used to it, I'll get familiar with it.
Say your name one more time though, because I want people like during the game.
It's just TJ Housh, Housh 84.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One last thing, CJ. It's funny because the last time we interviewed you, I had asked you about the Madden rating thing way back in the day when you went on ESPN. You was upset about your Madden rating, right?
Yup.
The funny thing is, like football cards have gotten real popular. I was in line actually waiting to try to get like some Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase rookies or whatever. I ran into the dude that you did the interview with. He was like, "Oh, you a Bengals fan?" And I was like, he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "TJ Houshmandzadeh ripped into me off of that." And he saw that we did the interview with you. The funny thing is, he told me after you ripped into him, he said, "Man, I had to go and get his jersey." So after, you probably don't know that, but after you ripped into him, he actually became a fan of yours when they bought a jersey and everything like that. I think his name is Donnie Moore. The ratings are.
No, you know what's crazy though? Like, I was fast my entire life until I got to the NFL. It was really crazy.
Right.
I ran 10.5 in 100 meters, bro.
Whew.
I ran 10.56 in 100 meters. When I ran my 40, I ran 4.40, 4.39, jumped 38 inches in my vertical. Like, I was fast my entire life. And then I got to Cincinnati. They put me in the slot. So that's what the people that know, but don't make me slow when I know I wasn't. They had me like a 90 speed. Like, shit, I play Madden again. I started playing Madden again during COVID. I'm cold, by the way, beating ass.
You seen Mixon?
Bruh.
Have you seen Mixon?
Nah, Mixon don't want these problems.
He been laying people out, bro. He been laying. He got hella bodies out here, bro. I swear to goodness, go check out Mixon.
Well, he ain't got enough time on his hands to want these problems. I got a lot of time on my hands. I don't know, but like, they got Jamar Chase 92 speed, bro. That Jamar should be at 96.
Right.
They got him 92 speed.
My man running
like, don't even get me started on our ratings. He just ran 28 miles per hour. Because some of them ratings that we got for our players.
Yeah, you got the plug. I don't even know why. It's like you don't want to hit the Ocho button on people sometimes.
They got Jamar Chase 92 speed. He should be a 96, 97 speed.
Facts.
Right.
Easy. Once he ran away from them dudes in that Chief game, his speed should have gone up automatically.
Right, for sure.
Automatically.
Goodness. I replay that play sometimes just when I just want to like pop shit on the internet sometiend, but
that was my favorite play.
The screenshot from that play is my favorite one. 30-26 is super crazy too because of the pressure on it. Shoot, the 18-yard catch this past week on the Titans. So you don't know this on Twitter, right? Oh my God. Can you imagine TJ in a Twitter space?
in the space?
Hey, bro, you don't even know about this joint on Twitter. All right. I do these joints called Twitter Spaces. It's like a forum. Like, you remember how Clubhouse was?
You know how Clubhouse is?
Yeah, I'm not on it, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Bro, I be doing these ones on Twitter called Twitter Spaces. And so we just line up ops like Titans, it's gonna be Chiefs this week. We get them in, get there talking, all that stuff like that. Can you imagine this man TJ in there in a room with them people talking to them? Like, because all we do is just get all their stupid sakes. They say what is going to happen, say that we can't stop this or whatever.
They called us a finesse team.
So then it records the space. So then after the game, we just go back and run back all the dumb shit that they said the whole time.
I mean, if you pay attention to football, the Bengals are a top team stopping the run. They're not finesse.
We told them that.
They called us a finesse team.
We told them that.
Derrick Henry was just going to run all over us. They said Ryan Tannehill was the perfect quarterback.
I told them every single thing. I said AJ Brown could go crazy, but he got to go Jamar crazy. He got to go like super, like out there.
And he can't go Jamar crazy because he don't got Joe crazy throwing the ball.
Facts. That was the next point. I kept on talking about Tannehill. They was like, I mean, well, we got a good team. And I'm like, listen, when it matters the most, there's going to be a chance in this game. Because I knew that game was going to go like that. I said, when it matters the most, you're going to have the ball in this dude's hand, and he's going to have to do something. And if you don't, I'm going to gut you. Like, it's over. Like, it's a wrap. It's the same thing for Pat. That's why we didn't play with Pat the first time. The first time, that 6-minute drive, when we get down to the end of the thing, the Bengals and Zach, they weren't playing around with Pat. The Bills learned the hard way or this past.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Zim. I was watching that game like, kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. And they went for it. I got a penalty. I'm like, that's your sign right there. Now kick the field goal. and it worked out for him. But
Right.
No, I didn't.
listen,
Do not
listen.
get that ball to him in the cheetah because
Zim.
all they gonna do. But I'm gonna tell. Let me ask you about a defense. Let me ask you this: could this work? Why do teams go into prevent right and just allow guys to run free like Tyreek? Right? Why don't you just get a man and like as long as you don't show us intentional holding, press him up, put some whatever on him, whatever, and all they could do is give you a 5-yard penalty. I mean, or what is it, 10, 15-yard penalty? And then that be the worst case scenario. But now all that time is ran off the clock. Why don't teams do that at the end instead of just letting guys just sit back 20, 30 yards and let this dude run down the field?
So what they could have done is technically grabbed every receiver at the line of scrimmage, the first play.
Yes.
And say 7 seconds run off the clock. In essence, now the Chiefs only have one play. But this is where they went wrong. And I said this on TV the other day. It was that last play of the game. You know Patrick Mahomes needs to get rid of the ball fast. They have to get rid of the ball fast. If he's getting rid of the ball fast, why are you rushing anybody? Drop your entire team in coverage. No defensive linemen, all linebackers and secondary guys. Press everybody, help over the top, drop everybody. When you do that, the quarterback can't get rid of the ball fast because it's 11 guys in coverage.
Right.
So now the clock tick, tick, tick. Game over, or you throw it away. Now it's a Hail Mary. And so that's where they went wrong at. You got one play. I'm dropping my entire team in coverage when I know you got to get rid of the ball fast. I'll let you scramble around. Because if you're going to hold the ball, the game's over. If you throw it short, we're going to rally and tackle.
I told, man, look, like part of my strategy is very similar to what yours is, but I'm like, why do you let this guy get a free release with that amount of time off?
Right.
And just
pressure. Man. They folded. They gave in.
Facts.
The pressure got the best of them. Some people can't.
Right.
Coaches, the pressure got the most of them. It's simple.
TJ, we gotta wrap this bad boy up, man. I could talk to you for hours on this joint, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. This is like, I tell everybody, we done interviewed a lot of people, and they be like, well, what's the best? I'll be like, man, go watch our
go
TJ
back and
interview.
listen to the TJ one.
Because nobody else talking like this. Nobody that raw. Nobody is really like, they listen to us because they want the real, and you the realest. So I really appreciate
y'all. Appreciate y'all. We be watching the game in spirit together. This weekend we beat their ass.
I'm gonna see you in Cali. 213. Find me because I'm gonna be out there.
I'll be here. I'm gonna for sure be here.
All right, man. So make sure y'all follow TJ. Make sure y'all continue to support him. And matter of fact, your podcast. What's it? Tell the people the name of the podcast.
About the game.
About the game.
About the game.
Y'all winging it. And I be looking for it.
Make sure y'all tap in.
I'm subscribed to it. So I'll be like, it gives me alert.
We're going guests every week, but now that the playoffs is here, we going no guests. As soon as the playoffs over, we'll take about a month off, and then we'll start having all kind of different guests again.
Man, it's hella people. It's hella people in the comments like, man, with this, I got to wear my 84 jersey on Sunday. So just know we rocking with you. Bengals got to get this dub. Coach TJ, we'll see you soon because we need to
appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man, we about to beat their ass Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
TJ Houshmandzadeh, bro. TJ, the legend, man. Appreciate him for stopping by for sure.
Man, people talk about being a dog. Like mentally, you gotta be a dog, and mentally, like TJ is the dog, like of all dogs. I know a lot of people probably just caught us this year. I encourage you all to subscribe to New Stripe City if you're on my channel. If you're on New Stripe City, subscribe to mine. Go back and look at some of these interviews that we've done. And I thought that was we have 2 separate channels, everybody. So make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all continue to support Cincy Jungle. We're gonna make sure that we put this on the podcast. Did you have anything? Because I gotta close it. I don't even know how you follow up. Like TJ,
you can't follow up.
You can't
TJ,
really say
man.
too much. But I do encourage everybody to go back and look at some of our old interviews. We've interviewed like some really good talents, real good people. And TJ is one of my favorites.
Definitely, and definitely be sure to hit up our partners, Midwest Best Barbecue in Loveland. They got the Uno wings popping off right now. Definitely be able to stop by there, get you some wings before the game. I think they even have like bundle deals and stuff like that. Tell them Ace and Zim sent you,
Sure.
and definitely hit them up, get you something grub in. But yeah, man, all I got to say is yes.
Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.